Volunteer military nurse in Italy during her time in the Brazilian Expeditionary Force, 1943 through 1945. Three men standing at Popular Saloon, Man at the Wheel Saloon, in Los Angeles in 1896. General Zapp and General Leclerc at Veterans Memorial in Hanoi in 1946. Special Agent Olga Benario being escorted by Brazilian police for her testimony in 1936. A rare photo of Muhammad Ali, the boxer, as a baby in late 1940s. Photo taken during World Cup between Netherlands versus Switzerland in Milan in 1934. A soldier is pictured carrying a Christmas tree in December in 1915. Childer enjoying their Christmas dinner, which consisted of potatoes, cabbage, and pie in 1936. Brazilian player Pelé dribbling the goalkeeper of Uruguay in the 1970 World Cup. An elderly Vietnamese woman complains of French soldier that her house got burned down by the Viet Minh in 1951. A woman riding an alligator in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in 1930s. A 4,000-pound elephant seal named Roland getting a snow bath from his handler at Berlin Zoo in 1930. 14-year-old Jose Sanchez del Rio, who was martyred for his faith during the Cristero War in 1928. Farah Farrokhzad, an Iranian poet and film director whose feminism still has a big impact on Iranian women in 1960s. French soldier Jean-Julien Lemordan. While serving in 1915, he got blind. Through several surgeries, he was able to gain his sight back in 1935. Getulio Vargas, 2 times president of Brazil with newlyweds Leonel Brizola and Neusa Goulart in 1950. German soldiers use a railroad plow, or Schwellenflag, to destroy tracks during their retreat from the Soviet Union in 1944. Betty Grable during a promotional shot for her upcoming movie Sweet Rosie O'Grady in 1943. Targa, the elephant, disembarks from the Barnum and Bailey train in the Bronx in 1963. Lili Uokalani, the overthrown final monarch of the Hawaiian kingdom on her private residence with her dog Pony in 1917. Vinkas Juska, a Lithuanian book smuggler that transport language books into Lithuania proper during late 1800s. A woman getting her hair perm with German hair perming apparatus from the 1920s. Future Senator John S. McCain III with his namesake father and grandfather, Panama Canal Zone in 1936. Contestants in the Miss Lovely Eyes beauty pageant wearing masks so that their lovely eyes can be adjudicated in 1930s in Florida. Anne Frank with her sister Margot at Zandvoort Beach in 1940. The national maximum speed law in the United States has workers replacing the 70-mile-per-hour sign with 55 in 1974. 88-year-old Winston Churchill flashes his famous V for Victory hand sign in 1963. Bobby Fischer and Boris Spassky during World Chess Championship in 1972. Saddam Hussein visits Fidel Castro in Cuba in 1978. Drew Barrymore lights a cigarette for Stephen King in 1984. The children of hop pickers take cover in a trench in Kent whilst watching a dogfight overhead during the Battle of Britain in 1940. Workers on super tall ladders building the USS Macon airship in Akron, Ohio in 1933. Members of the Young Women's Republican Club of Milford having fun in 1941. American and Soviet soldiers embrace upon meeting at the Elbe in 1945. Ernest Hemingway in a war hospital in Italy in 1918. During Christmas in 1914, English and German soldiers stopped fighting to have a game of football. Catherine Sui Fun Ching was the first female licensed Chinese-American pilot in 1932. Queen Elizabeth II prepares to give her annual Christmas speech in 1960. Children of Puerto Montt, Chile, photographed while drinking in 1978. A thirsty Clevelander takes a deep gulp of beer with the end of Prohibition in 1933. Postman waving flag on a Xmas post office cart in Washington, D.C. in 1919. A bartender working in a bar during New York City's blackout in 1959. Fred Astaire photographed during shooting a picture of Audrey Hepburn in 1957. German children gathered to cheer a U.S. aircraft delivering food to West Berlin in 1948. Princess Helena visiting Doncaster, England in 1906. Anastasia and Maria Romanov making faces at their camera in 1916. A Sami man wearing sunglasses and smoking a cigarette while holding the reins to his white reindeer in Norway in 1922. A bride ready for her wedding from Jämtland, central Sweden, in 1889. Auschwitz staff enjoying some downtime in 1944. Queen Victoria and Princess Beatrice at Windsor Castle in 1895. Model and photographer Bunny Yeager in 1963. The U.S. national team at the very first World Cup in 1930. A 1922 Chevrolet drops its load of bootleg whiskey in a crash in 1923. Pilots of the 51st Independent Fighter Group of the Royal Yugoslav Air Force near Belgrade in 1941. Adolf Hitler, age 35, on his release from Landsberg Prison in 1924. Shirley Temple presents Walt Disney with a special Oscar honoring his work as the producer behind Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1938. Marilyn Monroe cooking with Lena Pepitone, a housekeeper who worked for Marilyn at New York apartment in 1956. A British soldier stands behind a riot shield in Cregan Derry, Northern Ireland in 1971.